with a Monday nighter and a big game upcoming?
Yeah, I think Christmas has been very different for a while, since like college or high school really. I think it was the last time it was kind of normal, but it's always a little different. So you take what you get. Obviously, we were able to get the morning and kind of spend that and enjoy Christmas, and then came in later. So it's still obviously trying to be as locked in as possible and focus on what we got this week.
Jordan, that first game with the Vikings was your first game back from injury.
Mm-hmm.
When you go back and look at that film, what stood out? What did you kind of remember from just your play and just in that game the first time?
Yeah, I think overall, I think it wasn't our best game. Obviously, I think just to start, too many turnovers, and I think we just got in the hole early. And we were trying and fighting the rest of the kind of second half to climb our way out of that hole, but it's never easy when you're down 21-0. So we just got off to a slow start, put ourselves in the hole, and I like the way we finished. We did some good things in the second half, but just not good enough in the first half.
Physically, how do you feel now compared to that first meeting?
I feel good. I feel good now compared to then.
So what is the challenge with Flores' defense? I mean, you've played him a few times. There's a lot of good coordinators in this league. There's a lot of guys who blitz. So what stands out about his group?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a big challenge. They do a lot of really good stuff on defense. They throw a lot of different looks at you, a lot of different personnels, and a lot of different pressures. So, they make it hard for offenses, make you kind of have to study everything and be prepared for whatever they might throw at you. But, we've played them a couple times. We'll learn from every game we've played, but and it's one of those games that you just got to be ready for whatever they might throw at you, because they definitely have a lot of different stuff.
Jordan, why do you think this division is so strong this year?
Just good teams. I think you look at it, obviously us, Detroit, and Minnesota. There's just three really good teams right there, both offensively and defensively. So I think when you have that, it's kind of the recipe, and they're all playing, kind of complementary ball.
So how badly do you need to beat one of these teams to show you're as good as them?
Yeah, badly. Obviously, we only have one more chance here this week. So definitely, like I've talked about before, we got to be able to go win these games against the really good teams in the league, and set ourselves up for kind of the situation we'll be in for the playoffs. On the road playing good teams. So definitely a good test this week.
Difference between the way the Vikings went after you in the game last year up there and the game here? You got them pretty good on some of the blitzes up there. Do they change some things to try to come after you and go for that? Do you feel like in the first game here?
Yeah, no, I think, you look back last year, I think it was kind of a similar situation. They got after us the first game, and I think that second game we had a better kind of feel of what they're doing defensively, and kind of a better game plan to be able to pick apart what they did. And I think, going into the first matchup this year, I think they definitely changed some of the stuff they do defensively, and I think they did a better job of just covering up some of those holes that we took advantage of. And I think they're a better defense than they were last year. I think last year, the second game, they were missing a couple guys too. But it's one of those games that, like we did in the second game, you just got to go make plays and find ways to stay on the field and pick up those pressures that they bring on any down, and be able to just put up points, because obviously they have a really good offense on the other side too.
How loud does it get over that? You played in Detroit this year, you played in Seattle this year, you have that memory from last New Year's Eve. Where's it rank?
It's up there. They have a good fan base. It's a good environment to go play in on the road, but it's definitely up there with some of those top places that it gets very loud.
Playoff scenarios get complicated, but what's your main focus about this? This is a divisional rival. Kind of even out the score from when you played earlier. And what do you guys talk about in terms of motivation this week against the Vikings?
All the motivation is right there. Division opponent. Obviously, they beat us first game, so we're going into their place, and we want to get some of that revenge that we're looking for. So, there's all the motivation in the world. Obviously, like you said, we've already clinched. So we're trying to go down there and obviously handle business in the NFC North, which we've dropped a couple games already this year. So we need to go get a win.
Jordan, have you seen any of these celebrations that their defense has been doing lately?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about them?
They're crazy. They're spending a lot of time on them. But no, I know Cam Bynum pretty well. We played 7-on-7 growing up together in high school. So it looks like he's like the ringleader of that whole thing. But no, we talk about it all the time. Like, the defense have a plan when you make a big play, get a turnover. So they're doing a good job. We'll have to make sure they don't get any turnovers.
Jordan, obviously you missed a couple of games, but the sack numbers from last year to this year, it's not even close. How much you had a good offensive line last year too, so what do you think the difference is there, especially with the amount of pressure you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like we always say, it starts up front, and the O-line is doing a great job, just keep me protected. And, when we do have those kind of overload blitzes, just me knowing where to go with the ball and I need to get the ball out. So, but it starts up front. They're doing a good job. They're really dialed in protection, and you just don't see a lot of miscues in pass pro where there's just guys coming free. And then me being aware and just having that awareness when something does break down and just know where my check down is. So I think that's helped me a lot, be able to understand where these answers are to be able to get the ball out quick. And just let these guys go make plays.
In terms of interception avoidance, you've done a pretty good job of late with that. Is it more with the decisions you're making, with some of that luck that transpires, or would you attribute it to being conscientious with it first and foremost?
No, it's definitely something that I've talked about. I wanted to make a focus on and really go into the games and be aware of trying to take care of the ball and really just not forcing some of those errant throws that I might have been forcing earlier. So it's definitely some of the stuff that you just got to focus on during the game. But, I mean, some of it, there is some situations where a ball gets tipped and some things that you can't control. So, I don't know. But for me personally, I've definitely been trying to focus on take care of the ball.
There's a similarity between Matt's kind of career arc and now Kevin O'Connell's career arc. Just wondered from your perspective, I know he's the only head coach you've had in the NFL, but how much has he meant to your development, and how good is this offense when it comes to the quarterback and making the quarterback successful?
No, it's a huge part. I think Matt does such a great job, with the quarterbacks, being in the room with us and just making sure we're all on the same page, And obviously he does such a good job at game planning throughout the week and dialing up some pretty good plays. But, like you said, you look at, Kevin O'Connell and the stuff he's doing on offense, and obviously with a couple different quarterbacks. So, he's having some good success. But it's pretty similar. But, these guys, Matt, these offensive guys, I think they do a good job of just making sure everybody's on the same page with all the little details of the offense and how he wants the offense ran, and we're able to go out there and just execute these plays.
Matt said you guys stole a play from them, and he used it in against Houston, and it ended up being a pick. Do you remember that at all?
Yep, I do remember that.
Not a design flaw, a quarterback flaw, or what happened?
Yeah, it's one of those plays that you draw it up for a certain coverage, and we really didn't get that look, and we're still running it, and it was one of those ones. I'm still trying to make the throw, and I think I just sailed that throw over the top, and the DB made a pretty good play. But that was one of those, just a missed play. But we have these plays where you dial it up for the certain coverage. Sometimes you just don't get those coverages. So it's another instance where you just got to know where to go with the ball, where you have your answers versus maybe not desirable looks.
So you guys steal a fair number of plays every week that you start to kind of, not from him specifically, but
oh yeah, I mean that's why we watch all these games throughout the week of plays other teams have ran and had success with, and you kind of get ideas, and there's some new plays that you add into your game plan throughout the week to try and take advantage of what they do, and then obviously you have some of your base plays that you carry throughout the year and can run. But every week there's a couple new plays, and actually Matt challenged the quarterbacks and everybody to bring a couple plays, a couple trick plays, things like that. You might see that we might be able to run throughout the week.
Have you seen the Lions play with Jared Goff?
Stumble? Yep.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Just like yours to Musgrave last week.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
That's flattery. Flattery is the kind of sport.
I mean, it's right there. Yeah, they see a play that's worked, and they make it come to life again in a different way. So that's pretty cool.
Josh in the locker room after the last game was almost emotional, talking about being able to have this experience going to the playoffs and just having this type of success. When you talk to guys like him, do you kind of also see that as well? Guys are cherishing these opportunities, because not every team, or you would say regulars, going to the playoffs.
Definitely. Me and Josh had conversations when he first got here, and his main message was he wanted to come play for a team that was going to have a chance to do something special and obviously have a shot in the postseason and go win it all. So just the type of player he's the play style he's brought to this team and the things he's brought have elevated us a lot. But it's obviously, like you said, I don't know if he's missed it every year in his career, but you could see that it means a lot to him to have the opportunity and to play in these meaningful games.
how much does seeding matter to you? You're going on the road likely for most of the playoffs, if not all the playoffs. How much do you claw and fight for 5, 6, 7?
Yeah, I mean we're gonna fight to definitely win out the rest of these games, but I think our situation, we know we're going to be on the road and going to go play somebody. So I'm not sure who it's going to be yet, but I don't think there's really any change in our situation there yet. So obviously we're going to try and go win out these last couple games. We got 2 NFC North teams, so there's going to be plenty of motivation there to finish it out the right way. But I don't think we can change much, so I don't think we're worried about that.
So Jordy, you guys have played so well offensively, but maybe the second half on Monday wasn't what you wanted from a passing perspective.
Mm-hmm.
How does that kind of fuel you this week to kind of get those things fixed?
Yeah, we always strive to be as consistent as possible and go out there and make those plays. And second half there was a couple plays that we just didn't hit on. We're just a little bit off. So it always motivates us. Whether we're putting up all these points or not putting up points, to be able to go out there and be our best. But a game like that where we're up big and we can really, impose our will on the team right there and put up a lot of points, and definitely some plays that we left out there. So, we want to get back to put up a lot of points.
2 more. How long did it take you to find out about Toyotathon? What took you so long to embrace it as a marketing opportunity?
Yeah. No, I've definitely seen all that stuff that's been out there on social media for quite some time now. So, shout out to my marketing agent. He did a good job and reached out to them and made it come to life. So it's pretty cool. But I've been seeing a lot of stuff out there for quite some time. So shout out to whoever started that.
Did you have to go out buy a Toyota?
I might need to go buy a Toyota now. Buy something for a whole line too. We'll see.
Are you superstitious at all? I mean, obviously maybe not Toyota-thon, but in terms of routines and things like that, are you superstitious?
Oh no, I'm not too superstitious. No.